Good evening, gladiators. We who are about to play salute you. Good evening, everyone. It's been a while since the last Oli Plays, probably a couple of weeks since I played No Man's Sky. And no, it wasn't because that game was so interesting that I stopped making these. It's actually just been busy. I've been working on the Swords and Sandals series, of course. I released Sword and Sandals Mini Fighters a few days ago, and I'm still working on Sword and Sandals Pirates, so I'll be making some videos about that soon. But tonight I wanted to have a quick playthrough of a game that has been in early access for quite a while, but was released on Steam earlier this year, and that game is called Subnautica. And I played this a little while back, but tonight I wanted to do something interesting, which I'll talk through you with, and I'm just loading the game up now, and we'll get stuck into it. All right. Here we are, Subnautica. So this game was made by Unknown Worlds, and that's a team of about 6 people, as far as I'm aware. And they wanted to build a game that was non-violent, not all about guns and destruction and so on, but about exploration, and not exploration of our planet, but of a different planet altogether, an ocean world. Your player crash lands on this vast ocean, and you have to explore its secrets. But what we're going to do tonight is start a new game. You've got survival mode, freedom mode, hardcore mode where you can die very quickly, and only 1 life, so there's no respawns. But we're going to play the creative mode. So there's no real story to this, but what I want to do tonight is explore the ocean and just see how deep it goes. Can we reach the bottom? Because I played this a little while back, just mucking around with it, and had a bit of a swim playing the regular game mode, but I didn't get very far because there's a lot of crafting and things you got to do. But I was very curious as to how deep the actual ocean in this game was. So you start off in this little survival pod, and we've survived. We'll climb out of here. Out we get. It's pretty cool when you leave your little pod. You arrive in this vast ocean, water everywhere, and you're shush lady, I'm talking here. This vast ship that you crashed from, and that's your survival pod. I had enough of her talking. I wish I could turn her off, but I don't really know how. What we're going to do though instead is we've got a little knife here. You can swing that around if we need to catch some fish. Let's jump in. Wow! It's very pleasant. We can catch ourselves some lunch, a bit of a stingray, Steve Irwin style. Now this is a bit of an earlier version of the game because I haven't actually updated it since it was in early access. So I'm sure it's actually more advanced than this, and some of the bugs you might see in this version are probably not there, but this is just the version I've got, so I'm okay with that. It's cool when you leave the water and you come out, you can see a nice water spray. The sun is shining, it's a beautiful day. We're going to swim over to here. You can swim underwater if you wish. So this game is very much a exploration game, but it's also a little bit of a survival horror game because we're in the shallows now, swimming at about a depth of 12 meters, but it gets dark and deep, and if you have fear of water, or better known as lesser known as thalassophobia, I think it is, then you might find this game a little terrifying because it gets deep. And I've traveled, fairly deeply in the ocean here, but not right down to the bottom, not to the abyss, and that's where I want to go tonight. So we don't really need to see that, because I know that last time there was like a radioactive thing. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna pick a random direction and go off there. But because I'm swimming quite slowly, I'm in the creative mode, I'm going to use this fast swimming device thingy so we can swim a lot quicker. There we go. Now normally you've got sort of oxygen levels and so on that you need to be aware of. These lovely god rays peering through the clouds in the water level. We're still in the shadows. Fish everywhere. This would be an amazing game to play in VR. Whoa. Imagine that, swimming around, being able to look around everywhere like this. VR gives you a real sense of scale as well. Like, so this over here would look quite huge, you know.
Passing 100 meters. Oxygen efficiency.
So 100 meters down. And that's certainly deeper than most of us have ever dived. I've only snorkeled, really. What's that? Strange fish. We could attack him if we wish. Hey, guy. Because we can't die, I'm just gonna keep hitting him. No, we'll keep going. Now this has a whole bunch of interesting things you can build, which I really haven't explored. I'm not really doing the game justice as far as what the game actually is. It's been sometimes described by some people as, you know, survival horror and so on. Someone else has called it an underwater Minecraft because of all the interesting things you can build. I think it's creepy enough. We're only about 140 meters down. We're already losing some of the light. Oh, there's a bit of a... You hear these interesting sort of noises from the deep. Like the groaning of a ship's hull or something like that. We descend. Some kind of luminescent coral. And some weird spheres. There is a full story behind this game, I've read, you know, about alien technology and strange creatures and so on. I think if you're into this kind of thing, it's probably well worth your playing. I only wanted to explore, but that was enough for me. Because I only have limited time, you know, I check these games out and I often don't play them more for an hour or two. Just because I'm so busy programming my own stuff. But I do like to get a feel for these things, you know, and share them with you guys as well. Whoa, these things are cool. Luminescent, kind of... What are they? Almost like crustaceans with a long tail. So we're in a cave network now. 500 meters below, and there's like some kind of steam rising up from a vent. I can imagine you'd quite quickly get lost. Okay, so we're ascending there. We want to try and find our way through this cave, down and down and down. Find a way down. If you were a cave diver or something, I can imagine this is a little bit of a taste of what it must be like. You know, you very quickly get disoriented and lose your way. And I can't remember if I'm going backwards or forwards now in this mysterious cave. So that was the way we came. The deeper you get into this game, the more the creatures get bigger and scarier. I reached the shelf, one shelf somewhere. It seems like we're climbing now. So we're going to get away from that. See if there's another way down. It's a very zen-like game, you know, really cool, like little cave there. It's just got an amazing surreal quality to it, you know. I came across a wreck in another version of when I was playing this giant alien sort of wreck thing, and swam around it and wondered what the hell it was. And because I was in this this creative mode. I never really found out, but I'm sure the story requires you to use your tools to build and find a way down. I wonder how deep this goes. There is a real feeling of loneliness in this game, more so than No Man's Sky ever conveyed. One of the issues I had with No Man's Sky was when you went to planets, they were sort of teeming with life, but not in a believable way. Whoa, this is cool. Now we're descending again. There are those strange luminescent crustacean-y thingies. If you haven't seen Blue Planet, the David Attenborough documentary, do yourself a favor and watch it. There's an episode on the deep, and it is fascinating because that truly is an alien world that we have under the sea. You know, creatures you wouldn't believe. They took cameras down the bottom of them and they found a lake of some other substance. I don't know what it was. It might have been, you know, liquid nitrogen or something in the depths of the sea, right down, 8 kilometers down. And they found a lake of this other liquid underneath the bottom of the water, and it was amazing. And there were these strange eels that lived down there, and because it was so toxic, they could only swim under this lake for a couple of minutes before they too died. Whoa, now it's getting deep. What lies down here? Ah, here we go. We're on the edge of a crater. Now we dive. How deep can we go? I guess it's just you and me chatting now. Because all I can see is dark, and I can hear sounds, strange sounds, as I navigate further and down. And it wouldn't surprise me if some kind of vast sea creature pops its head in when it sees our light. So be prepared for that. We're nearly 1 kilometer down below the sea. Our own ocean descends about 11 kilometers at the bottom of the Marianas Trench, I think it's called that, at a place called the Challenger Deep. Funny enough, James Cameron took a submarine down there a couple of years ago, right down to the bottom, and took some footage and found some creatures living all the way down there. So, you know, they're called extremophiles, these creatures that can survive in the extremes of our planet, in the hottest places and the coldest places. It's really cool. So there's obviously not much for us to see here. But I'm descending. I don't know what we could find. Maybe there's nothing. Maybe they're trolling us. Maybe this just keeps going on forever. Have you ever seen the movie The Abyss? This is a great movie by James Cameron, who is a huge fan of underwater stuff because, you know, as you know, he did the Titanic movies, and there's a lot of water scenes in that. But before he did that, he did this huge, expensive movie called The Abyss. No formal life here. It's kind of scary. But The Abyss was set several kilometers below the surface of the ocean on a mining vessel, and the strange things that the miners see under the water. Now, one of them has to go off the edge of an abyssal cliff and descend. Oh, there we go. There's a wall of some kind. What was that? Whoa, here we go. Whoa. Very much like this. The scene where I think it's Ed Harris, the actor. His character has to descend and descend and descend. And as he goes down, he's freaking out, and he's got a certain amount of oxygen. And he's only hearing the voice of his ex-wife on the ship, and she's talking to him saying, stay with us, stay with us. And he can sort of type away in this little hand device, and it's really eerie, and there's a real feeling of loneliness to it. I'm not going to spoil what happens after that, but it's a really great film from the 90s and still holds up today. Do yourself a favor and get the long version of it if you are interested. This sea cliff here is our only, connection to the world above. I mean, if I look up, Whoa! What the? Oh, what the hell is that? My God! Monster from the deep. Jesus Lord. That thing is vast. I'm gonna say it seems harmless, but we are in sort of an all-powerful creator mode, so we're at over 2.5 kilometers deep, and what a monster we've found. Some kind of leviathan. Biblical creature from the depths of the sea. My God. Let's keep descending. That was really cool. That was really, really cool. I wonder what else we might see down here. I didn't know that was there. I could hear noises, and I looked up, and there it was. Who knows how long it had been following us? It's, you know, well, there we are. There's our wall. That's our little beacon. Because I don't think we're coming back. We're going to keep descending. And who knows how deep this goes? Yeah, as I was saying, you know, full play to the guys that made this game. This isn't anything like I've seen before. I've always been fascinated by the depths of the ocean on our world and others. And they've created an experience here that really is like no other. I've read that they made this game using the Unity engine, and that's a great game engine that a lot of people have made some awesome games in. Some people stick their nose up at Unity because they see some terrible, trashy games made in there and asset flip style games. But, you know, don't hate the tools. Hate the builder, because Unity is capable of making games like this and other highly professional AAA games that you probably haven't heard of are all made in Unity. The next Sword and Sandals, Sword and Sandals 6, will be made with Unity as well. I can hear some other terrifying noises. If I have a look around, oh, this is our Leviathan. He's just tracking us. Has he tracked us further down, or was that another one? What's down there? Oh, that's the ship. 4.5 kilometers away. But we're not coming back, my friends. We're not coming back. Yeah, so I'm going to be making the next Sword and Sandals with Unity, and I'm really looking forward to that, and just seeing what the possibilities are for that, because I've been very limited in the technology I've been using for it in the past, just because I'm doing a lot of remakes and so on. I started Sword and Sandals Pirates about 4 years ago using Adobe Air, and it's just not up to scratch as far as radiation.
Is consistent with damage to the Aurora's drive core sustained during planet fall.
Interesting. Don't know what that means, but it's interesting. But yeah, and so I'm really looking forward to just being able to visually create something new and have, you know, different lighting effects and cool particles, and just really bringing a bit of flair and pizzazz to the game, you know. What an eerie game. There's some little sea creatures down here. This would be terrifying if you were playing this in VR with the lights off and a full virtual headset around you. You know, it's probably not that fascinating for you, the viewer, to watch as it is for me to kind of play, because really you're just looking at a black screen and listening to some noises. But have you ever heard of the planet Europa? Oh no, the moon Europa, which is one of the moons of Jupiter. Now, why this is significant is because Europa is rumored to have water on it. It has an ocean under a crust of ice 1 kilometer thick, and this ocean is many, many, many times deeper than our own, up to 100 kilometers or more deep. And it's believed that it sustains life. We don't know, but scientists say of all the places in our solar system, Europa is the one that may contain life. And so they're planning, and there's been missions planned by NASA and other private space enterprises to send some probes there and a drill down through the ice and see what we might find down there. And my God, if that happens, that would be amazing. Imagine that. So let's hope it happens in our lifetime. It's actually gotten a little lighter down here. Very interesting. If I look up, what? Stop jumping up and scaring me. Is that the same guy? It is. It's just annoying that he's not annoying. It's just a little disconcerting that he's tracking me. Why is it getting lighter? What is down here? Who knows? Will we reach the bottom of the ocean? Who knows? Speaking of Europa, there is a movie about a mission to Europa. Not the biggest budget movie, but it's really well done. It's done with sort of found footage of some astronauts who went out there and landed on Europa. And again, I won't spoil that, but if you're interested in space and the ocean, great one to watch. So it got dark again here at nearly 6 kilometers under Subnautica's ocean. That thing is just following me. I suspect that if you're not in creative mode, that thing probably kills you as you descend. We do have a knife we could use. Look at that. That's really creepy. I've got my little flippers and that. That just shows you how vulnerable you are. And yeah, don't think we'll do that. Oh, I just get chills thinking of how deep this is. Do you ever watch those videos on YouTube of free divers? I was in Egypt many years ago, maybe 2005, I'm gonna say, and I was there by myself, and I saw the pyramids and the Sphinx, and you know, it was I'd had a breakup, and I just needed to clear my head. I'd been living in Ireland at the time, and I decided to, I'd always wanted to visit Egypt, and so I took a couple of weeks and traveled there. I was another one of those Leviathans. Hey guy, hello. And after I saw the pyramids and the Sphinx and all these amazing temples, I took a couple of days and went to a little Egyptian seaside resort called Dahab. And beautiful, beautiful place. And that's right near the Red Sea. Now, they have beautiful snorkeling around there, surprisingly. I didn't know that. And I went snorkeling there at a place called the Blue Hole. And you're swimming near the reef, and you're, beautiful coral, a few meters deep. And then you go over a little coral rise and you look down. And this thing just goes deep, deep, deep. Hundreds of meters straight down into this blue abyss, much like what we see here. I got this terrifying sense of vertigo, and my mind reeled, and I hyperventilated, and I had to swim back because it was so terrifying. That sense of, as I said before, thalassophobia, I think it's called, fear of the deep, and it just spanned me out. And so if you have the same sort of fear of the deep and don't want to experience it for real, get on YouTube or Reddit and type in thalassophobia, and you can see some very, very interesting pictures and videos of braver divers than you and I descending into the depths of the ocean, whether it be diving into a natural cave 50, 100 meters deep and swimming back up, or a man-made pool. There's a huge man-made pool that someone has dived down, and there's a great video of it as they descend, and you get these terrifying butterflies as you see them. My God, how deep does this go? Yeah, as I said, this is probably by far the least entertaining video that you'll have seen on Oli Plays visually, but I hope the stories are at least entertaining for you. I always wanted to kind of have this series feel like a chat between you and I. I don't have a hot cocoa or coffee or anything with me tonight, unfortunately. It's cold and I'm in my dressing gown, but it's not quite late enough. Whoa! What? What happened? We did reach the bottom and we appeared here. I suspect that is probably an early access thing because I don't have the latest version of the game. Wow. Look at this. Beautiful, bright water. Isn't that lovely? And we're near our ship. Like we never left. There you go.
Further study recommended.
You're not wrong. So that's Subnautica. I really recommend it if you're a fan of the ocean and exploration, and I'm sure there is a really interesting story there for those who take the time to find it. Get it on Steam. Really cool experience. I don't think I'll play it again, but maybe if it comes out in VR and I get a VR headset, I would love to experience in that. For now, that's it for Subnautica, but I really wanted to say a big shout out to the developers, Unknown Worlds, for making this game because it's hugely compelling and interesting and different than anything I've seen before. On another note, this will be the last Oli Plays I will do. However, that's not the end of me making gameplay videos for you at all. Not at all. I'm just doing something a little different, a little silly, which I will be announcing soon. It's not going to shake the format up at all, but just a slight rebrand. Stay tuned for that. There'll be an announcement in the coming days and weeks. In the meantime, I hope to bring you some more Swords and Sandals related videos, hopefully this week or this weekend. Maybe just discussing some more gameplay of Swords and Sandals Pirates or game design behind it, because I know that a lot of people have been interested in that. And thank you to all my new subscribers. It's great to have you aboard, and I love reading your comments and all the kind, encouraging words you've said to me. And it really fuels me to keep making the games, and I had no idea there were so many Sword and Sandals fans out there. Probably a lot less fans of the Oli Plays series. These don't get that much of a viewer count, but I do enjoy doing them because they are really the main chance I get to play games and try them out, because with a young baby and a very busy work life, don't get that much time, hour here and there. And so I value it. I want to share it with you and record it for posterity. Anyway, everyone, enjoy your night. It's probably summer in Europe. It's still winter here, and we're looking forward to spring real soon. Have a great night and see you soon. Bye for now.